But I mean, I think for me too, it's like I kind of always feel like I have to not like not prove her abilities. But
Yeah.
I always feel like I am always being like, my sister has cerebral palsy, but she's so smart. Like it's automatically like when you say they have a disability, that people are going to assume that she's a certain way. And I have
Underestimate her.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, and I have to be like, no, she like has 2 degrees. She's smarter than me. Like she is so intelligent and she has done so much with her life. So I'm constantly trying to do that. And I feel like I've always been trying to do that too, just because I'm like, I don't want people to have the preconceived idea that just because somebody has a disability, they're
Um,
unable to do things.
Yeah. yeah.
Everybody needs a champion that is a
Yeah.
champion for you, even when you're not in the room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it sounds like she's got that in you.
Well, and I think that's one reason like I'm so excited even for their adventure, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like some of the stuff physically, like I can't do that. I can't go hike Stone Mountain. I can't like I'd poop out. I gotta go to work. But I love that she uses her body and like is making a choice that like go live your life, go do it, go see it, go touch it, go, Amanda really likes to hike and that makes me happy because she takes awesome pictures of it. And I'm like, sometimes I wish I was up there, but other times I'm like, go you.
Yeah. But you
Yeah,
get
but that,
joy from watching
Yeah,
her
but that's kind of
experiences.
a good example too, because I could like as I was walking today, I was thinking, what, Addie could do this. Like where I was walking, I'm like, you could totally come with me and walk this path. But I mean, you do think about those things like, is it accessible? Is it not accessible? Which is something that people who aren't in our situation wouldn't even think about.
Wouldn't even think. Yep.
And you go to like certain places, and you're like, wow, like how is this not accessible to somebody who's handicapped? So
Hmm.
I think that's kind of a cool thing too, just because it brings more of awareness, you know,
And many
to people.
times it would be fairly easy, to
Yeah.
make some of those places accessible.
Yeah. I mean, just thinking about like airplanes, and you're like, why isn't it just like the first couple seats are completely removed so they can have wheelchairs?
Yeah. And they're
There's so
working
many
on that and
things.
they're working on the design, but
They're
it's a
supposedly
slow
working on it.
They're
process.
working
Yeah.
on it, but
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, come on, people. We've come a long way.
Yeah.
Well, why is it taking this long?
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
mean,
I
some
agree
of
with
the
you.
stuff that we do come up with is silly, and then you're like, okay, let's focus on things that actually matter. But I think also too, like being somebody who has a disabled sister, that you see like that not everybody pays attention to your group of people. Like it is kind of the underrated, because people automatically are like race, and they're considered, they're more concerned about the race card, or is this getting, paid attention to or whatnot. And then it's like the disabled community isn't always in the forefront of the conversation, which I think is an important thing, and which is so awesome that you guys are continually trying to make sure the word's out there and
Yeah.
people understand. So, yeah, I think I'm lucky and fortunate that I've been around it to be able to learn and understand and support and try to like put the word out there too. Like, okay, we need to fix this, or, if I'm somewhere, I'll be like, okay, you could do this. You could do this.
Yeah.
We can go here.
And you've seen that over the last few years. To your point, not enough maybe, but you see that with all the talk about diversity and equity and all that over the last few years. There's the poster or sign I'm seeing that says you can't have equity without disability.
Yeah.
We're fighting
But
for
I
this
still, I
whole
mean, I
group.
really, yeah, it's just sad that it's still so
Hmm.
underrated and not discussed.
And we've mentioned here too a few times over the course of doing this is that generally it doesn't take anything away from anybody able-bodied to have something an accommodation for a disability. If you put in ramps because of stairs, that doesn't mean the able-bodied people can't get to where they need to go.
Exactly.
They can still use the
Yeah,
ramp to get there. Yeah, and there's
exactly.
so many things like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, as the world continues, we will improve. That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Is that we're all trying to improve.
I think that it's true, right? That this, like we say, like, well, if I put a ramp in, it's not like you're not allowed to go on here because you should be using the stairs.
Yes. Yeah.
No, it's just it's interesting. And I mean, even like we'll see, like there are things I know already, like I can't do them in Savannah because it's an old city, but they can
Yeah.
go and do it.
Yeah.
like a lot of how the stairs to get up to things or whatever. Like I'm already going to send them on things that I know I can't do because it's cool and somebody should go do it
Yeah.
and tell me what it's like. But you know, in the South, older cities or in Europe where it's not as accessible by any means, or how we've talked about New York, like there's a lot of for as advanced as we've become in certain things, there's still things antiquated that makes it a challenge.
Yeah.
But
Got to just keep chipping away at it, making noise.
Yeah. But that is like the sad part about like when you go to certain places like Europe where it's cobblestone roads or walkways and you're trying to roll across on the wheelchair, which is like nearly impossible. It's like, I mean, people don't have any idea what it's like if you've never experienced it, but you know.
You know, we've all run into this too, where, like you say, people not only are they not aware of it, they don't fully understand, even if the topic is brought up, what being accessible is. You know,
yeah, or people will be like, just get up and go over there because they've seen
Yeah.
you walk, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, no, like,
You know, I've
dude,
gotten-
maybe I'm in a position that I can't do that. I no longer have that luxury, or I got injured, and there's no way. Like, you just didn't know me for the last 10 years when I broke my neck. Like, you know what I mean? So to tell somebody like, no, you adapt because this is, yeah.
I've
What?
been in a wheelchair and I bought my ticket somewhere and got an accessible seat, and I get there
Yeah.
and there's one step to get to where the seat is.
Yeah.
You know, and the usher looks at you like, well, there it is. There's your seat. Well, you don't see an issue here. You know?
You're like, what's the standoff? Who's gonna win?
Well, and that's the hard part is because you're like, whose responsibility is that? I mean, obviously it's theirs, but
You're right.
they don't see it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is hard.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can share a funny story.
Yeah. Love to hear a
not
funny
too
story.
I can share a funny story. But
This?
this one's not too bad, but I was just thinking about it because the uneven roads. Because you don't, I mean, people don't have any idea. But so the last time Addie and I got to go to Disneyland, which is our favorite place to go,
Yes.
and we love Disneyland, and my son is not a fan, which is so sad.
Which means he might not really be her son.
Yeah. But he doesn't like roller coasters. So I mean, I'm hoping as he gets older he'll get more comfortable. But we made the mistake of putting him on Splash Mountain when he was really young and didn't tell him it was a roller coaster. So he like never forgave me for that one.
We had crippled ourselves.
Yeah. But so anyway, so the last time Addie and I were going to Disneyland, we had stayed at a hotel that was a little ways away.
Like a mile.
Yeah, but we were like waiting for the shuttle and it was never coming, so we decided let's just walk. So of course Addie had her walker because we were going to rent a wheelchair once we got into
When
the
you got
park.
there, yeah.
And she hadn't brought her wheelchair to California.
Yeah.
So we were just going to use the walker.
The plan.
We made a plan. So anyways, I was like, just sit on the walker because of course it has a seat and I'll push you. So so she's like facing towards me and I'm pushing her down the sidewalk.
Like a shopping cart.
Yeah.
Almost.
So I mean it's fine. Everything's going great. We're just like, chilling. And then I think I'm giving my little scenario of like on the left-hand side, I'm starting the tour early. On the
Yeah.
on the walker. And then for some reason I didn't see it was like the metal covering that
The
was
grate.
connected. The grate, yeah. It was like where a part I don't know if it was like covering
garage.
it was a parking
Parking
garage.
garage.
Okay, so it was just like an uneven surface, but I didn't see it. So of course I hit it and she went backwards and landed like on her elbows and I like fell on top of her.
This is like 7 a.m. too.
Yeah.
It's not like late. It's early. We're
course,
already
yeah.
hyped.
Fully lit.
So I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? Of course, we're like looking around to make sure nobody witnessed it because that's more embarrassing than the actual being
Yeah,
at all.
physical. Yeah.
And so then Addie, she's like, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then she gets up and she's like, well, my elbow does hurt a little bit. And I was like, crap. And so we're like checking it out and it seems okay. So we're like, okay, well, there's a Walgreens. Let's go and we'll wrap it up.
We're like, we're going to Disneyland.
Yeah,
Nobody
oh, yeah.
cares.
Yeah,
Not even a
because
question.
we haven't even made it in yet, the park. So we're like, we're not giving up our day.
No.
So we go to Walgreens and we get an ace bandage. Did we put like ice or I think just
No,
ace
we
bandage?
just- whatever we
Yeah,
can
we
do.
just got an ace bandage and we
No.
wrapped it up. And then of course, so like we get to the park, we get the wheelchair, we spend all day. And then but of course, like during the day, like as she's getting on a ride, she's like, ow, my elbow is like a little
It's too tight,
Yeah,
you
she's
know?
like, it's a little sore. And so, we're like, well, hopefully you didn't do anything too bad to it, but it's fine. It's fine. So then we get back to the hotel later that night, and it was like a huge bump.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
so
like
it's swelling.
double its stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
So
swollen with ace wrap.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it was like purple, and then it was like swollen, and then we're like, crap, what happened? So we're like looking it up to try to figure out and diagnose, of course, what it